In this video, I'm going to be going over the trade interface and how to perform transactions with other people in your game. So, back up here at the top right in our icons bar, the trade icon is the second from the right, these two arrows. So to access trade and offer up a trade, you're going to click this. And currently you'll see that there are no pending trade requests because we haven't sent any requests or received any. So to create a new trade request, at the bottom right of this panel, you'll see this orange button with a white plus sign. So you can click that to open up a new trade request modal. So working our way from the top to bottom, first thing you'll notice is who you're trading as. And this has your faction icon as well as the color you're playing as. If you hover over the icon, you'll see the name of your faction. Next, you'll have to select who you want to be trading with. So again, this has the faction icon and as well as the hover for the faction name. When you click the icon, you'll also see the color of the player appear under the icon. And you can toggle between those, but you can only ever have one faction with one trade request at a time. Next, you're going to go over what you want to offer in the trade request. First comes trade goods and commodities. So perhaps in the last video, I believe we replenished our commodities. So we have a total of 6, so perhaps we want to trade, let's trade perhaps 4. And we'll just leave trade goods at 0. Next, we have promissory notes. Now, in the trade, you could only swap maximum, or rather offer a maximum of up to 1 promissory note and receive a maximum of 1 promissory note. So if you drop down your menu here, you'll see a list of the vanilla promissory notes, so to speak, the 4 base ones. As well, you'll see the 3 faction promissory notes that are present in the game. Trade convoys, that's ours. Cybernetic enhancements belonging to the L1Z1X magnet, as well as the fires of Gashley. Now, even though we are trading with the Embers of Muat, notice here that the cybernetic enhancements is available as a trade option. You might be wondering why that is. That's because promissory notes are always face down in a player's hand, with exception to the revealed support for the throne. So we actually, in theory, we don't know who holds Fires of Gashley. If people have been trading promissory notes around, it's possible that this card has been passed around multiple times. And so it's up to us really to offer up this this exchange of promissory notes, and ideally this would have been through some private conversation in the chat window, or you could try to fish for it, perhaps offer the trade up. Regardless, if you do pick a promissory note to trade that isn't a faction specific one, for example, if I chose ceasefire, I'm going to have to specify the color of that note. So if I want to give my own, then I'm the green player, right? We can see that. And so I'm going to offer up my green ceasefire, which is mine. Now, something unique about if a transaction involves the Emirates of Hakan is actually you'll see this action card deck show up, and this will only show up if the Emirates of Hakan are going to be involved in the trade. So here you can actually scroll through and see every instance of every card that could be tradable here. Now, the reason why you need multiple instances of War Machine is because you can actually trade as many of these as you would like. So if I want to trade 2 War Machines, I need to click War Machine twice, for example. But say, like I want to trade a direct hit card, right? Then I could click direct hit, and that'll show up there. So what are we asking for in return? Well, let's head on over to another player's tab just to check out how many commodities the Embers of Muad have, because I don't want to close this tab right now. Embers of Muad are 4, right? So we will ask for 4 commodities in return, and perhaps we will swap ceasefires, or maybe actually instead of swapping ceasefires, we might take a support for the throne, for example, or political secret. So let's do political secret. Let's ask for the yellow political secret. And then as for action cards, we would have to discuss that with the other player because their deck is obviously private. But we'll just ask for none for now. So let's send this request. And now you'll get a concise summary here of the request for this trade that we're offering up. And if we head on over to Charlie's tab, because that's the player we're offering to, you'll see in your trade icon now has this orange dot, meaning you have pending trade request. So if I open up this, you can now see we have the ability here to either accept the request or decline the request. Now normally we wouldn't be able to accept this request right now because we aren't neighbors. No one in fact is currently neighbors. However, the Emirates of Hakan have a special faction ability that allows them to trade with non-neighbors. So the only thing that is required for this trade to go through is, well, number one, obviously that both players have these components, but second, that it is one of these players' turn within the game. It is indeed Alice's turn. Let's just check we have direct hit. I think we do. Yeah, we do. So let's go ahead and let's see what's going to happen here, right? Based on this trade, we should see these 6 commodities turn into 6 trade goods, because that's what happens when you that'll happen on Charlie's end. We're receiving 4 commodities from Charlie, so we should see those 4 commodities become 4 trade goods, bringing us to a total of 16. We're actually trading away 4 commodities, so we should be left with 2 out of 6. We're going to be receiving, or rather giving away our ceasefire, so our promissory note deck should go down to 4. And we're also giving away our direct hit cards, so we should see that disappear down here from the user interface. And then we should also be receiving a political secret, so actually our promissory note deck should stay at 5, but we should see different colored political secret. We should have 2 political secrets in our deck, our own as well as Charlie's, and we should have no ceasefires. So Charlie can decline this, or he can accept it. Let's go ahead and accept it. So the trade will go through. Going back to Alice's tab, we can see where we got those commodity and trade good updates as we expected. We should no longer have our direct hit. Indeed, it is gone. We just have uprising. Let's go look at our promissory note deck. And in our promissory note deck, we can see that we have the Embers of Muad's political secret, and we no longer have our ceasefire because it was traded away. Worth noting here, if you have more than 5 cards within a deck, you can paginate through it by just clicking the deck again. And I think that was it. Now, you'll notice if we go over to a player who wasn't involved in the trade, such as the L1Z1X Minet, the trade will show up in the log, but the only information present is that which would be public. So the fact that promissory notes were exchanged is public, but only Alice and Charlie know what promissory notes were exchanged. Same thing for action cards. And we can see that the commodities are public information that they were exchanged. So that's how you offer up a trade, how you can select various components, accept the trade. And that's going to do it for this video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial video.